Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about deliberating with regards to, say, picking a film to watch. Now, I'm really bad for this. I'll go on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever and I'll just scroll through for hours because I'll never find exactly what it is that I want to watch. And as a result, it means that I'm spending like half an hour, up to an hour sometimes, just going, oh, look at this film, and then I'll kind of go on like Google it and I'll go on IMDb and I'll look at a couple of reviews or I'll look at the score and I'll go, oh, do I really want to spend like 2.5 hours watching something that's only got 6.5? Yeah, no, I don't know. And then, but then, oh, maybe it's directed by a guy I kind of like, and yeah, maybe it'll be all right. Maybe it's just a bit misunderstood. But what if I'm one of the people that misunderstands it? Now I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. It's too long. I'll find this other one. Oh, yeah, but it's a comedy and it's an American one. What if it's a little bit sort of loud and it's all about like, you know, gag humor and that kind of thing. You know, like that loud kind of American humor that they like the Hangover sort of thing. And then I kind of like, and then I'll just keep doing that. I'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it until I just end up just watching nothing, and I might just go back to YouTube and just finding whatever the homepage recommends to me. So I end up just engaging with crap and not really challenging my brain with anything worthwhile because I'm never quite in a state of mind to actually watch that kind of thing. And ever since I got my girlfriend a few months ago, she's the total opposite. She doesn't deliberate. She just like scrolls through and she sees something. Oh, should we watch that? Bam, straight away, right? And then we're watching it, right? And if it's shit, right, then we can just stop watching it. You know, we don't have to watch a crap movie. But I always think of it as like, I've dedicated myself to this film. I have to give it my full attention. I have to sit down for all of it. And that's why I'm deliberating so much. And I realised that, as of late, I've tried to just whack stuff on. Like I whacked on the Godfather Part 2, and I realised I'm not enjoying it. You know the Family Guy thing where they're drowning, and he's like, "I did not care for the Godfather." Yeah, that's kind of me. Like, I'm sure it's just because I don't get it. I don't get it, and I'll freely admit that, right? But if I'm being honest, the whole like mafia, Italian immigrant sort of thing just doesn't do much for me. And I find what I like about The Godfather Part 1, I really like the part where Don Corleone, or however you say his name, he's in the hospital. I really like that stuff. Like around an hour and a half to about 2 hours 10, I love that bit. That bit's brilliant. And I like the wedding scene quite a lot. But outside of that, everything just really doesn't interest me. And it's all like, ooh, look, they put oranges on the tables whenever there was going to be a death. And it's like, no, they just put oranges there because there's a bit of colour, and like the directors and the cinematographers or whatever have outright said that, but people try and find meaning where it isn't. And I feel like when you're scrolling through films trying to find the one that's right for you, you're just putting yourself in a position where you're overemphasizing the importance of the film, like it's going to change your life, and if it doesn't, then you're disappointed by it. When you'd probably much rather watch something that's a little bit mediocre, that you didn't put any effort into putting on. You just chucked it on and then you watched it. And then now that you've watched it, you can bring it up in conversation, or if it comes up in conversation, you can say, oh yeah, I saw that, it was shit. You know, or oh, I saw it was really good. And you can just do that and you can have a bit of fun with it. Oh, this tips back. So as of late, yeah, I have been trying to just watch rather than deliberate. And it has been a little bit liberating to not deliberate over what I'm choosing to watch. It means that I'm just getting more stuff like in my little like catalogue of films that I like, films that I've seen. What did we watch recently? It was a Spanish zombie movie. It was Apocalypse Z, something like that. Brackets the beginning, something like that. And it was about this like lad who I think his wife had died or left him or something, and he had this big house and he had a cat and he was a little bit depressed. And his sister was like, yeah, the government is taking a load of people out to like this island in the middle of nowhere. Well, you should come down. And then he goes to the airport, and at the airport, like a zombie outbreak happens, and like a guy bites a security guard, and then like it swarms everywhere. And it's one of those with like fast running zombies, and like where they turn really quickly, like they turn in like the space of about 10 seconds. So it was one of those kind of zombie films, and it was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. And I thought if I was just like scrolling through things on my own, I would never in a million years have watched it. But I kind of enjoyed it, you know? And I think that's the important thing, is that it's important to have a little bit of schlock sometimes. It's important to not every film can be the Godfather level of intellectual. Not every film can change your life, and not every film should. You should watch a little bit of crap once in a while. You should watch a little bit of mediocre stuff, because the mediocre stuff helps bridge you from turning point to turning point in your life based on what you see that changes your perspective. Like, my favorite film is Before Sunrise, right? And it probably always will be. But if every film was of the quality of Before Sunrise, I feel like that would dilute what Before Sunrise means to me. If I'm just getting the same euphoric experience every single time, then that film suddenly wouldn't mean as much to me. If all the films that copy Before Sunrise, like Before We Go and stuff like that, if they were all as good as Before Sunrise, then Before Sunrise can't be that good if it's so easily replicatable. And I think that's part of the magic of cinema, is that, you know, not everything's going to be a masterpiece. Sometimes something will come out and it'll be an unexpected masterpiece. Like, I really like Joker, right? And I feel like if I say that, the people lump me in with a certain group. Like, I don't love it because, like, ooh, he's a misunderstood guy and I actually think he was a hero. No, he's a twat the entire movie. But it really reminded me of a film that I really love called Bad Boy Bubby, which is all about this kind of guy that's been raised wrong. He's been like Bad Boy Bubby. Bubby has been raised by his mother to basically think that there's an apocalypse outside. And every time she goes out, she puts a gas mask on and she tells him, sit still. And then she points at a little Jesus on the cross and it's like, Jesus is watching you. And if you move, he's going to fucking tell me and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Basically like that. And like God's wrath will come upon you. And so he's raised in that kind of way and he ends up escaping and he has to try and ingratiate with the world and try and gain himself a little bit of normalcy and confidence and that kind of thing. And like, people take the piss out of him, people take advantage of him and all this kind of stuff. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful fucking film. It's one of the best films ever made, and Joker isn't as good as it, but it reminded me of that, and not many films remind me of that kind of film. I know everyone goes straight for King of Comedy, but I've not seen King of Comedy because, again, I've deliberated so much that means that I've not seen as many films as I perhaps should have, right? So, yeah, I feel like if you're trying to watch a film, if you're trying to pick something to watch, just pick the first fucking thing that looks vaguely interesting to you. And if it turns out to not be interesting, then turn it off and do it again. And eventually you'll find something that catches your eye and for a long period of time. And that's all you need to do. Just keep clicking stuff. Just keep clicking stuff. And once you find something that you like, then you realize, oh, I actually like zombie films. And I thought I didn't like them, but it turns out I do. Now there's loads of zombie films I can watch and they're all basically the fucking same. Like they're all just, zombie apocalypse starts, people run around, try and survive the zombies. Maybe it's a man's inhumanity to man and man is the real villain kind of thing. Maybe it's just pure action movie. Maybe it's all about the fast zombies and like big high stakes action. Maybe they try and do a weird twist with it and they do like a heist. Like, what's the one that Zack Snyder did? I can't remember the name of it, but he did that kind of thing. Or maybe there's one that George Romero did where it was all about like a bunch of documentary filmmakers that went and like, it was almost like a found footage zombie movie. Then there's ones that are like set on a desert island. There might be one set in the city. There might be one set in the middle of nowhere. Maybe there's ones where the zombies are like, have like thoughts and feelings and like ingratiate with society. Maybe there's ones where like, I don't know, the zombies can be cured and return back into normal people, and so there's now a moral dilemma around killing them. All this kind of stuff. There's so many zombie movies, and they are all basically the same, but it's just these little things that are a little bit different. But they are all the same level of schlock, and some are more artsy than others, and some have gained a bit more fame within the general cultural zeitgeist. Like Dawn of the Dead is probably the most famous zombie movie. The original George Romero film is a fantastic movie. Really one of my favourite movies. That probably not of all time, but it would be in my top 100, I'd say. Dawn of the Dead would be like the extended director's cut, because I really like the slow, because it's all set in a shopping centre. I like the way it starts at the top and they've got their tiny little base, their little room, and as they get more comfortable, they explore the place and they clear out the rest of the shopping centre and they figure out what's right for them. And then from there, they figure out how to escape the shopping centre. And that's quite fun. I like all that kind of stuff, and I like the film because of that. And, I feel like if you're just trying to find a film to watch, just click something. And I've said that a few times now, but I cannot stress it enough. And I'm stressing it also for myself, because I know I still deliberate, and no matter what I tell myself, I will still deliberate, and there's no real cure for that apart from just habit and just enforcing the habit. And if you can enforce the habit of just clicking before you consider, then you will end up watching more interesting stuff. You'll end up watching more stuff in general, and even if it's not interesting, then it can come up in a conversation. You go, yeah, that film's a load of shit. I wasn't interested in it. And yeah, that's going to be the video. So thank you so much for watching this, everybody. Please leave some film recommendations in the comments below, and just tell people, just watch it. You know, what's it about? Give us a little like synopsis. Go like, try and pitch us the film, sell it to us. It can be your film as well. You can do self-promo if you want, but don't tell us that you made it. Just make it out like it's a normal film. That way, if people come to your like films page on Amazon Prime or whatever, they'll just consider it to be a normal film like the rest of them, because no one is self-promoting here. They're just promoting their own film as if it wasn't theirs, if that makes sense. Don't be like, I made this film and I worked really hard on it, please check it out. Just go, this film's about a load of twats that try and get like married or whatever. Oh, well, okay. Sweet, I'm gonna watch that. I'm interested in a load of twats getting married. How's a load of twats gonna get married? Isn't a marriage between two people? How are they gonna make that work? Oh, it turns out they went to some country where the marriage laws are different. You can get like 10 people get married at the same time. Oh, sweet, I didn't know that was a thing. It's not, I just made it up in my head. That's the film, but films are fiction, so that's cool. So yeah, that was a little bit nonsense at the end, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Ooh.